Welcome back to another Tales of the SITBIT. You know how it is. If you want to skip the story, just jump to this time right here and you will get to see the book. Fan logic. I, I started to talk about fan logic and describe fan logic last video, last SITBIT. And for those that remember, back in that time frame, 1999, digital music, okay, Napster. For those that remember, Napster, file sharing, peer sharing, people were stealing, ripping music off the CD, uploading them and sharing them. The music industry was in full panic mode. Okay, for the younger viewer that has never heard of anything but digital music, well, in the good old days, you can only hear music from the radio, cassette, CDs, but it's not sure. People has always copy music, right? You can always make a cassette and share it with your friend if they don't want to buy the LP, the album, right? So the consumer stealing, not paying for music has always been around. Okay, it's not something that's new because of digital music, but digital music make it much easier and faster, right, to spread. Right, it take a long time. Sure, one by one person copy music, that's stealing too, but it's not widespread. But the moment that you can upload a song on the internet, my God, millions, tens of millions of people have access to that song, and that's unacceptable for the music industry. And the immersion of digital music just happened to be the perfect environment for my idea of fan logic to emerge, because here I was thinking about that event that us students didn't have a choice, and I would like to have the choice. With the internet, voting become much easier, right? It's one click away from putting your opinions out there. It's easier. It's even easier than call the long distance number of MTV and pay some kind of money to vote for your favorite music video. The internet make it even more efficient to vote for your favorite artist that you want to see appearing in your town coming soon. So the idea of fan logic start to come around. Okay, this is all on my own. The software part, I did bring in the other person to help me create the software. He already wrote something very similar, so it's not that hard to tweak the software to make it work for fan logic. But the concept of fan logic was all from me. So here I was formulating the ideas. Okay, digital music is here. The genie is out of the bottle. You can't put the genie back. So how can I make this work with fan logic, right? So I did a lot of research. There's a couple of books that I bought. I wish I still had the books, but there's a couple of books that I bought that kind of outline the music industry, because I didn't know anything about the music industry, and I'm still not completely 100% understand how everything works. But to make it simple, to make it as simple as I can, artists, bands make the most money from touring, selling tickets from touring, and the label make the most money from selling CDs, LPs, all that stuff. Okay, so that's the main reason why a lot of artists like to go on tour. Sure, they love to be in front of the stage, They like the fan adoration, but ultimately that's where this come from for them. Okay, it's not about selling record. They won't make a lot of money if it is all about selling records. They need to tour because the label get most of the money from selling LPs and CDs and all of that stuff. And you know, when I saw digital music and understand the concept of digital music, I knew that it's not to say that that's the death. I didn't go out there and announce that it's the death of the LPs. Nobody will ever buy LPs again or CD. But the way things were can't stay the same. Okay? And I look at the music industry that instead of like having the label making all the money that way, as far as selling CDs and the artists making most of their money from touring, there's a way to merge the concept so that there's a relationship between those two that beneficial for each other. So how would my digital platform works? In addition to voting, who you want to see live in person, you can buy digital music. Okay, this is long before iTunes, long before any other digital music platform. I suggested that there will be a legit digital platform where label will sell digital music this way. Now, there's always going to be people stealing your music regardless, but how do you incentivize people from buying and paying 99 cents for that song? When you buy the ticket, you then get a credit points that you can use to get discount to buy ticket to see live events. Okay, to see how that relationship benefit each other. So you incentivize people, the fans, to support the band, okay, and the band to give back a little bit. So it's a win-win for all three. It's a win-win for the label, it's a win-win for the fan, it's a win for the artist. That was the beginning of the idea coming together. I'm like, instead of being fearful of digital music, embrace it. Okay, embrace it and launch your own. Launch a platform, like a coalition. All the label come together, okay, and create a platform. We will create, we be the home base. Fan Logic will be the home base, and then people can listen to music, vote for music. At the same time, there's a bunch of other offshoot that I add on to the concept when it comes down to merchandise. One of the big thing with music is merchandise. People buy T-shirts, people buy all kind of stuff, and there's a lot of fraud, a lot of stuff on eBay, even today. You can see people selling a guitar with somebody's signature. How do you know if it's real, right? With Fan Logic, we create a platform where the band, the artist, can sell directly to the fan. You will never have to go outside of Fan Logic to buy your stuff and know it is a real deal, because everything that we buy and sell through the website will have a digital trail, a record, so that the secondary market will still have a trail. But I'm not going to go into the digital trail, all that stuff, because that's another part of the pattern that I was going after. But as far as the digital music, that was the biggest hurdle that Fan Logic had to face, because is I formulate the concept, put together the software that help the artist put a tool together. Now, mind you, not everybody need the software to decide where to tour. If you are back then, if you're Whitney Houston and or you're Rolling Stone, and you know you can sell out stadiums. Why would you need Fan Logic to tell you where to tour, right? So it's not for everyone, okay? It's not for everyone. But if you're a smaller band, let's say you are an 80s hair band, Rats, one of the 80 hair band that have been dormant for 15 years, and you say, let's do a comeback tour. Yeah? Well, where would you go? How will you know where you can go to make the most money, right? That's where Fan Logic can be very beneficial. In addition to new band that need fan support to spread. So for all acts that need to figure out where the existing band fans are, Fan Logic can be very helpful. But getting over the hurdle of the labels was the biggest obstacle that I could have imagined. I couldn't fathom that the ideas that I had at the time was poo-poo by the label, because at the time every label really was out there to crush Napster, to crush peer sharing, to crush digital music, because the old guard just couldn't get past what was done, how things was done in the past. Okay, they cannot fathom that the change is here. They have to embrace the change, or they will lose. It was hard, you know. It's. I remember being so excited about this concept because I thought it is the future. It is the future. Digital music, downloading, having a site like Fan Logic where people can buy, listen to songs at the same time, buy ticket to go see concerts, have direct access to the band, the artists. You can buy all kind of stuff, use guitar picks, whatever, anything you want. I mean, it's gonna be the portal, the music portal, the one. Okay, that was the way I see it. But there's a lot more to the story on how and why it failed, and perhaps I will dig more into that in another video, because I just look at the time. It's already been over 13 minutes as I yip. Anyhow, time to show the book, SITBIT. Okay, now I had almost a full run of Spider-Man from Amazing Fantasy 15 to Spider-Man 1 through 129 in slabs. And over the years, since 2010, I started to sell off many of these slabs and replace them with raw books. And the one book that was really tough for me to find, because it's hard to find, plus it's expensive, was issue 2. I had an 8.0 at the time in a slab that I bought way back in 2009, and I bought issue 1 and 2 together in a slab back in 2010, 2009, yeah, something like that. Been so long, I forgot. But when I saw this book in a collection, it was a SITBIT moment where, you know, I knew it's time to buy the collection. Not a great copy. It's a low grade copy. Okay, there's a lot of marble chip you can see, but overall it's a presentable low grade copy with marble chipping. And you know me, I don't hate marble chipping, so that was not a big thing. So when I saw this book in the collection, it was a no-brainer to buy the entire collection of Spider-Man. It was a small collection. It was I take that back. It was a big collection, but what for sales at that moment was just Spider-Man Silver Age run from Spider-Man 1 to Spider-Man 69, I think, something like that. And I have shown issue 1. If you have never seen issue 1 is a 0.5. It has 1/3 of the back cover missing. But the reason I bought that run was more for this book, more so than issue 1, because if issue 1 was there with missing 1/3 of the back cover and issue 2 was not there, I would not have bought the collection. There's no way I would have bought the collection, because all the other books I already have, and if I want to buy issue 1, I would have want something better than a 0.5. But because this book was in that collection, it was a no-brainer. I make the offer and bought that run. And that's it for this SITBIT video. Thanks for watching. Bye.